What's up, everybody? Get ready for a story that's going to make your blood run cold. We're back with Betrayed and Broken, and today's tale is a gut punch. We're talking about family secrets, twisted betrayals, and a discovery so shocking it'll leave you reeling. Viewer warning. This episode contains mature themes and intense emotions. We absolutely do not endorse violence. Stay safe, stay smart, and remember, this is a story. Don't try anything you hear at home. All right, let's dive in. This one comes to us from a woman in New York City. Let's call her Emily. She's 27, and her world shattered when she walked in on her fiancé. Let's call her Chloe, 26, with her own father, Richard, 52. Her mother is named Patricia. She's 50. Emily says, like most of us, she lived in her own bubble, never imagining something this twisted could happen to her, especially not in her own family. But here we are. She's a Reddit newbie, saw some wild stories on TikTok and figured, why not throw her own story into the mix, hoping for some advice from the internet hive mind. She knows you guys love the backstory, so she's going to lay it all out as clearly as she can. But bear with her. It's only been a week since her life detonated, so emotions are still raw. The city still feels surreal. Emily and Chloe, or just C as Emily calls her, met freshman year at NYU. Classic dorm room romance, right in the heart of the city. They were in the same building, practically neighbors. Crazy coincidence. They found out they grew up just 2 towns apart back on Long Island. Carpooling home for breaks became a thing. 20-minute detour, no sweat. Road trips turned into late-night study sessions. Study sessions morphed into dates. You know the drill. Both Emily and Chloe come from close-knit families, so introducing each other to the parents was a big step, and it went smoother than anyone could have hoped. Emily's family welcomed Chloe with open arms. Chloe's family adored Emily. Everything was picture perfect. Their relationship blossomed, a New York love story unfolding. Emily was a year ahead of Chloe in college. Graduation hit. Emily snagged a killer job back in the city, Wall Street money, the whole package. Long distance wasn't their style, so Emily made the trek back to campus every chance she got, and Chloe spent weekends in the city. Post-graduation, Chloe moved in with Emily. Both landed dream jobs in the concrete jungle, living that fast-paced, ambitious New York life. 3 years zipped by. Apartment living in the village, city adventures, rooftop bars, Central Park strolls. Then, the proposal. Romantic dinner, city lights sparkling, the ring. Wedding planning went into overdrive. Fairy tale romance, right? Wrong. Now, here's where the fairy tale shatters. Looking back, Emily sees it all so clearly, the red flags waving like crazy. Little things she shrugged off, dismissed as her dad Richard just being welcoming to Chloe. Richard calling Chloe constantly. If Emily happened to be around, it was always brushed off as wedding planning or organizing the family barbecue. One time, Chloe was in the shower, phone buzzed. Emily checked the caller ID, her dad, Richard. She answered it. Richard's voice, when he realized it was Emily, went tight. Surprise? Annoyance? He stammered something about needing to talk to Chloe about Emily's mom's birthday, coming up soon. Awkward, rushed call ended. Emily admits, even typing this out now, the shame burns. How could she have been so blind? The day the bomb detonated was just a regular Tuesday. Chloe had Tuesdays off. Made brunch, avocado toast, classic New York brunch vibes. Emily got ready for work. Power suit, heels, city chic. Kiss goodbye. Have a killer day. Typical morning routine in their West Village apartment. Driving downtown. Bam. Paperwork panic. Crucial files for a 3 p.m. client meeting. Crap. No big deal, Emily thought. I'll just swing home at lunch. Grab them. Texts from Chloe trickled in throughout the morning. The usual couple banter. Grocery run later. Dry cleaning pickup. Nothing out of the ordinary, just everyday New York couple stuff. Emily didn't even bother texting Chloe she was coming home for lunch. Just left the office, jumped in a cab, back to their apartment, the brownstone on a tree-lined street, their little slice of city heaven. Pulled up to their building, recognized a car. Dark blue SUV. Looked like her dad's. Weird, but she brushed it off. Maybe he was dropping something off for her mom. Parked, went inside. Walked to their apartment door, key in hand. And then, the scene ripped open her life, straight out of a trashy movie. Woman comes home early, catches husband cheating trope. Except this wasn't some cheesy daytime drama. This was her life, her reality, a trail of clothes, expensive men's dress shirts, Chloe's favorite silk camisoles, scattered down the hallway, leading directly to their bedroom. Faint sounds drifting from under the bedroom door. Moans. Low, guttural moans. Emily froze. Key halfway in the lock. Just stood there, paralyzed. The polished hardwood floor seemed to sway beneath her feet. Brain short-circuiting, circuits blowing one by one. Rage. A white-hot inferno of fury. Sadness. A crushing wave of grief. Disgust. A visceral revulsion that clawed at her throat. All colliding, warring inside her. But her body. Statue. Marble. Couldn't breathe. Couldn't move. Couldn't even scream. Time warped, stretched, then snapped back. Instinct kicked in. Phone. Record. She had to document this. Had to make it real, even though it felt like a nightmare. Picked up the clothes strewn across the hallway, grabbed handfuls of silk and cotton, and hurled them out into the hallway. A chaotic pile of betrayal at the foot of their apartment door. Filming, shaky camera phone in hand. She walked towards the bedroom. Door was slightly ajar, a sliver of light spilling out. Stood in the doorway, heart hammering against her ribs, camera rolling, maybe a minute. Felt like an eternity. Then, with a surge of adrenaline, she flipped the light switch. Bedroom exploded with harsh fluorescent light. They both jolted, startled, caught in the act. Looked up, blinking against the sudden glare. And there he was, her father, Richard, in bed, sheets tangled around his waist, his face flushed, hair disheveled, with Chloe, her fiancée, naked beside him, eyes wide with terror, utter, sickening shock. Father, fiancée, together, in their bed. The betrayal slammed into her, a physical blow. Brain scrambled, trying to make sense of the impossible. Then Richard registered the phone camera. Panic flared in his eyes. He lunged for a blanket, scrambling to cover himself, his face contorted with shame and fury. "Stop recording! Emily, stop this right now! Give me that phone!" He grabbed a towel, wrapped it awkwardly around his waist, hiding the evidence, the ultimate humiliation. He started towards her, a lumbering, pathetic figure. Emily's voice, ice-cold, razor-sharp, cut through the chaos. "Don't come any closer unless you want to get hurt. Stay right there." He kept coming, ignoring her warning, blinded by panic, reaching for the phone, for the evidence, for control. Emily reacted. Instinct again. Fist clenched tight, years of city self-defense classes kicking in. Landed a solid punch, a clean shot. Right on the jaw, just like in the movies. Except this was real, brutal, devastatingly real. Richard's head snapped back, slammed against the hardwood floor with a sickening thud. He crumpled. A heap of betrayal and shame slumped on the floor. Chloe shrieked, a high-pitched, terrified sound. Emily swung the camera towards her, focusing on Chloe's tear-streaked face. "Worried about Daddy, dearest? Anything to say to your fiancé? Anything at all?" Richard groaned, starting to stir, dazed, disoriented. Emily, voice steady, devoid of emotion. "I just came back for some files for work. Meeting downtown. Heading back now. If either of you pieces of garbage are here when I get back, this video goes viral. Everywhere." She ended the recording, the screen going black, silencing the horror. Looked down at her dad, Richard, still struggling to sit up, shame radiating off him in waves. "You're dead to me," she said, each word a hammer blow. "Not my father anymore, and you might want to call Mom, Patricia, because I'm about to." She walked out, leaving them in the wreckage of their betrayal. Closed the apartment door behind her, shutting out the sounds, the sights, the stench of it all. Sat in her car, parked on the quiet West Village street, hands shaking uncontrollably, the city noise fading into a dull hum. Her phone buzzed. Boss calling. "Emily, where are those files? Meeting starting in 10 minutes. Pulled herself together, forced air into her lungs, plastered on a mask of composure. "On my way," she managed, voice surprisingly steady. Office, handed over the paperwork. Boss's eyes widened, concern etched on her face. "Emily, are you okay? You look like you've seen a ghost." "Fine," Emily mumbled, avoiding eye contact. "Just a rough morning." Boss scanned her, a sharp, intuitive woman, noticed something. "Is that blood on your collar?" Emily glanced down, faint smear, almost invisible. "Yeah," she said flatly, the word tasting like ash in her mouth. "My dad's." Boss's confusion deepened, a silent question in her eyes. Emily pulled out her phone again, the video thumbnail stark and accusing. Showed her the clip. Boss watched, silent, face paling with each passing second. Jess, her fiancée, the woman she'd met at office holiday parties, cheating. With Emily's father, Richard. Boss's breath hitched. "Emily, what can I do?" Offered time off, a week, 2 weeks, whatever she needed. Emily shook her head, a hollow laugh escaping her lips. Can't go back there. Not yet. Just need a minute. Then, meeting. Client presentation. $1 million deal hanging in the balance. Emily walked into that conference room, smile plastered on, professional facade firmly in place. Delivered the presentation flawlessly, charming clients, closing the deal, acting like her world hadn't just imploded. Afterwards, boss found her office, door closed, blinds drawn. How did you do that, Emily? Act like nothing happened. Emily just shrugged, a weary, defeated gesture. Don't know. Went home, back to the apartment, empty, silent, haunted, alone, for the first time in a long, long time. Emily wrote it all down, poured her shattered heart onto the digital page, just to get it out, to make it real, to scream into the void. Didn't know what to do next. Needed to escape the apartment, the scene of the crime, the place where her life had detonated. Couldn't sleep in that bed, not ever again. STD check, urgent, and her hand throbbed. A dull, persistent ache. Probably broke something punching her own father. The irony wasn't lost on her. Reddit exploded with support, a digital wave of outrage and empathy. Red Crane Live posted, "So damn glad you found out before the wedding. Bullet dodged, girl." Altruistic Ad 2646 chimed in. "Unbelievable. Can't even imagine the pain. Disgusting doesn't even cover it. Talk to your mom, Emily. Lean on each other. Expose them both to everyone they know. Burn it all down." Lana 102 was simply speechless. OMG, no words. This is family annihilation. My colleague's wife and his younger brother. Decades later, family still fractured beyond repair. Another comment resonated deeply. Nothing can prepare you for this kind of betrayal, especially from a parent. It's unnatural, a violation on every level. And someone else added, "Going to work after. Are you a robot?" Seriously heavy stuff. Emily was floored by the outpouring of support, the virtual arms reaching out from strangers across the internet. Didn't expect it. Didn't even know if anyone would read it. Didn't plan to update, just needed to scream into the digital void. After posting, the emotional fallout hit, a wave of depression crashing over her. To the fake comments, Emily shot back. "If I was this creative, I'd be writing screenplays in Hollywood, not spreadsheets at my Wall Street job." Too many comments to respond to individually, the sheer volume overwhelming. But she read them all, every single one. Appreciated the support, even the snarky negative ones, because at least people were listening. The day after posting, the day after the internet storm, Emily tried calling her mom, Patricia. Silence. Voicemail. Dozens of calls throughout the morning. Still nothing. Decided to drive out to Long Island, to her childhood home. Patricia needed to know, face to face, even if it ripped open the raw wound again, even if it meant reliving the horror. Driving out of the city, the skyline receding in her rearview mirror, Emily rehearsed what she would say, how she would break the news. Panic clawed at her throat, bile rising. Pulled over twice on the Long Island Expressway, vomiting by the side of the road, the city stress and the emotional earthquake erupting physically. "Hey, Mom. So, your husband, he's sleeping with my fiancée." Not exactly a Sunday brunch chat. Finally pulled into the driveway of her childhood home. The familiar suburban street suddenly alien-tainted. Sat in the car, engine idling, trying to calm the storm raging inside her, to gather her scattered thoughts, to find the words. Before she could even open the car door, the front door of the house flew open, slamming against the brick wall with a bang. Patricia stormed out, face contorted with rage, yelling, screaming, accusations flying like daggers. "How dare you come here, after what you did to your father, attacking him in your own apartment, breaking up a fight between you and Chloe?" A torrent of insults, names Emily hadn't heard since high school arguments, hurled at her with venom. Abuser! Violent! Out of control! Patricia demanded Emily leave right now. "Chloe is devastated. She's not ready to forgive you. And frankly, Emily, if she has any sense, she never will." Apparently, Richard had spun a masterful web of lies. Chloe and Emily arguing, Richard intervening to protect Chloe, Emily lashing out in a violent rage, attacking her own father. The audacity was breathtaking. Emily snapped. The carefully constructed composure shattered, replaced by raw fury. "Really, Mom? Is that what he told you? Because your husband, your precious Richard, is screwing my fiancé. That's why I hit him. Self-defense, Mom. Want proof? I have a video. Want to see it?" Patricia kept ranting, blinded by Richard's lies, by her own denial. Emily cut her off, voice shaking with rage and heartbreak. "Mom, you're choosing to believe him. After all these years, after everything, you're talking to me like this? Then fine. Don't expect to ever see me again. Don't bother with apologies when you finally figure out you're just as much of a piece of garbage parent as my piece of garbage father." Patricia's face crumpled, the rage draining away, replaced by a dawning horror. Her face mirrored Emily's own shock from the day before, the same stunned disbelief, the same gut-wrenching realization. Emily pulled out her phone, thumb hovering over the video file, sent it. Patricia fumbled for her own phone, fingers trembling, watched the video, her face draining of color. Stopped it abruptly when Emily flipped on the light, the stark reality too much to bear. Lowered her phone, hands shaking, looked up at Emily, tears welling in her eyes, the first crack in her carefully constructed denial. Emily turned, walked back to her car, each step heavy with betrayal and loss. Backed out of the driveway, glanced at her mom in the rearview mirror. Patricia standing on the porch, tears streaming down her face, the suburban facade crumbling around her. Emily's heart twinged, a flicker of sympathy for the woman who was supposed to be her mother. But too much had been said, too much damage done. Drove away, leaving her childhood, her family, everything she thought she knew, behind in the dust. Back at the West Village apartment, the city skyline looming outside her window, Emily started the grim task of purging everything Chloe, every trace of their life together, every photograph, every shared memory, every piece of clothing. Packed Chloe's belongings into cardboard boxes, sealed them with tape, stacked them by the front door, a monument to a failed future. Legally, it was Chloe's residence, too. Technically, she couldn't just throw her out, not without proper notice. New York tenant laws were a minefield. Besides, Chloe's name wasn't on the lease. Emily was the sole tenant. And Chloe, Emily knew, was conflict-averse, a ghost in her own life. Unless she came back for her things, Emily didn't expect to see her again. Anything that reminded her of her parents, of Richard and Patricia, boxed up too, childhood photos, family heirlooms, birthday cards, all banished to a storage unit in Queens, a physical manifestation of cutting ties, erasing the past. Close family, yes, they had been, once upon a time. But toxic now, poisoned beyond repair. No problem cutting them out, severing the toxic branches. Texted Chloe's parents a brief, brutal message. Engagement's off. Chloe cheated on me, with my father. Thanked them for their kindness, for their initial support. Their relationship was still developing, but they had always been warm, welcoming. This just added another layer of hurt, another ripple of devastation. Asked them to pick up Chloe's belongings, to spare Emily another confrontation, another wave of pain. No response yet, hoping they would soon. Less chance of Chloe showing up, less chance of another agonizing encounter. Reddit comments flooded in after the update, a digital chorus of support and outrage. First Life Yogurt wrote, "Knew he was lying the second your mom wasn't answering. Richard's a master manipulator. Bravo for walking away. Ballsy dad to bring Chloe to your mom's house and spin that BS. Someone would be in jail in my neighborhood." Emily replied, a dark humor creeping into her response. "If only I were that lucky." Gag 27 was incredulous, echoing the collective shock. "They went to your mom and lied? After you caught them red-handed? The audacity is off the charts. Seriously, therapy, Emily. You need to process this trauma. So sorry, this is beyond messed up. Faith in humanity officially downgraded." Another commenter added, "Tried to say you were fighting with Chloe. Seriously. Not exactly Mensa material. Glad they got caught, but so sorry it had to be you. No one deserves to tell their mom their dad's cheating on her with their fiancée." Nightmare fuel. And that's where Emily's story hangs, suspended in the digital ether, raw, unresolved. A testament to betrayal and broken trust in the unforgiving glare of the New York City lights. A family shattered in a single devastating afternoon. What happens next? Will Patricia confront Richard? Will Chloe's parents pick up the boxes of broken dreams? Will Emily ever find a way to stitch her life back together, to heal from this unimaginable trauma? We'll be following Emily's journey, the aftermath of this seismic betrayal. Let us know in the comments if you've experienced anything remotely similar, if you have words of advice for Emily as she navigates this impossible situation. And if you want more stories of betrayal, resilience, and the messy realities of human relationships, like and subscribe to Betrayed and Broken. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. Trust us, you won't want to miss what's coming next.